The restaurant glowed with crystal lights and whispered conversations. The kind of place where wealth moved like a silent current. Yet in that sea of luxury, one woman walked through the room, almost like a chateau present, essential but unseen. Her name was Elena, late 20s. A dreamer disguised in an apron. Every day she balanced trays heavier than the life she carried. Guests barely looked up when she placed their plates on the table. They never saw the woman behind the uniform, the woman who spoke 5 languages fluently, including Mandarin, Chinese, a language she learned through years of discipline, heartbreak, and love. Before the world pushed her into silence, Elena had been a promising linguistics student. She spent her days translating cultural texts, fascinated by the bridge language creates between human hearts. Mandarin had become her favorite the moment she met Professor Liang, a visiting scholar who taught her the poetry behind every tone. He made the language come alive. But life is never as patient as dreams. When Elena's mother fell seriously ill, she dropped everything, her studies, her plans, her future, to care for her. After her mother passed, debts closed in around her like fog. The only job she could find in the city was at Mandarin, a high-end restaurant where the powerful dined, and where waitresses disappeared into the background. Some coworkers mocked her accent. Others laughed when she mentioned her love for languages. "You Mandarin," they snickered. Maybe enough to read a fortune cookie. Elena learned to swallow her pride as easily as her tears. That morning began like any other: ironed aprons, polished shoes, and classical music drifting through golden curtains. But something was different. A buzz traveled through the staff. A billionaire is coming. Not just any wealthy guest, Mr. Han Chong, a legendary Chinese business magnate whose presence could silence a room. The manager, Vincent, barked orders like a drill sergeant: no mistakes, no unnecessary talking, smile, and stay out of the way. Elena nodded, assigned to a table right beside Mr. Han's. When he arrived, the atmosphere changed instantly. Even the air seemed to adjust itself to his presence. Elena approached carefully to pour his wine in. That's when she heard him speak softly to his interpreter in Mandarin about how foreign countries often lacked sincerity. She felt those words strike a place deep inside her. She understood every syllable, but fear kept her silent. Until Mr. Han mentioned his hometown, Han, a city she had studied, a place she had dreamed of visiting. Something broke free inside her. In a voice barely louder than a breath, she whispered in flawless Mandarin, "Hangzhou's autumn is truly beautiful." Time froze. The interpreter stopped mid-motion. Mr. Han slowly turned his head. The manager looked as if the universe itself had betrayed him. And then Mr. Han asked in Mandarin, "You speak my language?" Elena's heart hammered in her chest, but her voice remained steady. "Yes, sir. I studied Mandarin for many years. It's an honor to speak with someone from a place I've admired so deeply." At first, he simply stared at her. Then the corners of his mouth lifted into a warm, genuine smile. He began asking her questions, tone tests, cultural references, nuanced expressions. And to each one, Elena responded with elegance and confidence. Guests around them stopped eating. Staff members stared. The same people who once mocked her now watched with wide, stunned eyes. A billionaire having a heartfelt conversation with the invisible waitress. A moment no one could have imagined. And then Mr. Han leaned back, studying her with a softness no one had ever seen from him in public. "You pronounced my name perfectly," he said. "Even many native speakers abroad struggle with that. How did you learn so well?" Elena's eyes shimmered. "A mentor once told me language isn't sound, it's respect. I studied because I wanted to understand stories far beyond my own." Mr. Han's expression brightened, and suddenly he laughed, a rich, genuine laugh that filled the room. "You remind me of someone I respected greatly," he said. Then he turned to his team. "A woman like this shouldn't be serving tables. She deserves real opportunity." The restaurant gasped. Guests took out their phones. The manager stumbled backward, suddenly sweating through his suit. Mr. Han stood and extended his hand to Elena. "If you ever want better work," he said, "come find me. People like you should never be overlooked." Elena shook his hand, her voice trembling with gratitude. "Thank you, sir. You don't know what this means to me." A few days later, she received an official letter from his office. He offered her a position as a translator and cultural consultant for his international foundation. Disadvantaged students learn languages and explore the world she once thought she'd lost. When she read the offer, she cried, not because her life changed, but because someone finally saw her. Her voice was no longer invisible, her talent no longer hidden, her worth no longer underestimated. And that's the reminder today from Whispers of Kindness. Sometimes the strength we whisper into the world eventually echoes back as destiny. Before you go, tell us in the comments, have you ever been underestimated, only to prove everyone wrong? Your story may inspire someone who needs courage today.